some things are the things, child. We got some stuff to talk about today, honey. We got some stuff to talk about. Hit that like button if you are new here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have a great time over here. You meant what you said when you said it. Really be is back, because I'll be understanding y'all sometimes. And when y'all know when I say y'all, you know I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about y'all. It means that all these people that got something to say have been actively involved in the political process in their world. I don't believe it. You ain't gonna convince me. I know y'all love me. What's going on? Happy Tuesday, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Somebody just... All right. Let me say hi to the people. And then we're going to go ahead and get started because we got a lot to talk about. All right. Thank you. Thank you, CC. And we are on Twitch today. We are on Twitch. I have to remember to this is what I have to remember to charge up my other device so we can start going live on TikTok again. Let me say hi to the people. What's up, Corey? Hey, The Informed. What's up, boo? Vinny Vin. Hey, DB. Miss Jocelyn. What's going on? Brandon. Hey, boo. Nikki, Chuck. Hey, Chuck. Quake. Ronnie. What's going on? Mia J. Auntie Eva. Lovely Nola, CC, Chanel Unfiltered, what's going on? Hey, Cross Country Cruiser, B-Lo, Emily B, C. Jones, Sweet D over on Twitter. I was going to say TikTok. What up, Cheryl, Alexis Thomas, Amber, Travel Girl, CC, Breezy Bree, Katie K, Miss Cookie, Yolanda. What up, Tracy? Hey, Boo, Montrez, Hershey Chocolate, Mimi. It's Quake. Okay, thank you, Quake. Thanks, boo. Nubia Mahogany and Lady of Virtue. What's up, you guys? Y'all come on in. Happy Tuesday. Thank y'all, everybody. You know, I had my braids and then I took my braids out. So, well, they weren't braids. They were flat twists. So this is what the other side looks like. So thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Listen, if you have not voted today, the link is in the chat for you to vote. And, hey, what's up, Sir James? Hey, boo. Naisha. Hey, everybody. If I didn't speak to you, charge it to my head and not my heart. Oh, and the Black History Month raffle, the link is also pinned if you would like to buy a virtual raffle ticket. So it's been about a week, so let me go through it real quick, and then we're going to get into these things. Aren't y'all glad I don't have any cruise updates to announce anymore? But anyway, so if you would like to buy a virtual raffle ticket, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. You fill out that Google form and you tell me how many raffle tickets you would like to purchase. And once I receive the funds, I will add your name to the raffle. We are going to be we're going to be selling tickets until the end of the month. The raffle will take place on March the 1st. There are 3 prizes. The grand prize, or the first prize, is a Black History Month care package, which will include at least 2 books, a shirt, some sort of shirt, and y'all like that shirt I had on the other day, so I'm going to try to find that link, and some other swag, whether it's a mug or some other Black History Month swag, and it may be some few odds and ends, just depending. Then there's going to be a ReallyBTV swag basket, which will include, you know, shirt, mug, some ReallyBTV swag. And then third place is going to be a gift certificate of at least $25, a Visa gift certificate. And we're hoping that you use that to purchase from a small Black-owned business. So, yeah. Thank you. Tracy put the link in the chat again to vote. If you have not voted yet today, please vote. Chuck said, aren't you going to talk about the trip? Yeah, but not on this live. Baby, I got too much news to get caught up on. I'm going to do a totally separate live. And El Teddy did a video last night, and I clicked the link. Myself and a few of the other people that went on the cruise were on there. But I'm going to do a video at some point this week to talk all about the cruise. So yeah, I'm gonna do it, and then I'll probably put that on members only after we get done talking, depending on what we say, because some stuff we don't need to say publicly, okay? And some stuff we ain't gonna say at all, because you had to be there. But ultimately, it was a really good time, y'all. I had a really, really good time. It was a really good group of people. No drama, no bullshit. Like, we legit didn't have no drama. We legit didn't have no bullshit. It was just a good vibe from the word go, from Thursday night when people started arriving at the hotels all the way until Monday morning when we were getting off the ship. It was just a good vibe. So I'm going to definitely do a video on that at some point this week. You knew it. We cut up. Yeah, we cut up. What up, Nay? But y'all get y'all coins together, because I'll be making an announcement by the end of the week. I'll be giving you guys an update on Abby's birthday trip. And once I do the update, you will be able to immediately book your trip. Immediately book your trip. It won't be, immediately. So you'll get that update hopefully by Friday. I'm working on it. Maybe the raffle is not to the end of the month, okay? And let me share that screen with y'all just so y'all can get a visual. We're going to be using the wheel. The wheel we used for the 12 Days of Christmas giveaway. So y'all can just kind of get an idea what the wheel looks like, so you can see what your chances are right now, okay? You can see what your chances are looking like right now. This is what the wheel looks like. I wish I could take the picture away so you guys can just kind of get a better idea. But as you can see, the names, I've already added the names. I'm adding the names as people are sending me their money for their tickets. So as you can see, right now, Bama Girl has the best chances of winning because she's purchased the most tickets. Okay. But the tickets are $10 a piece. You can get 3 tickets for $20. You can get 10 tickets for $80. And you can buy as many tickets as you want up until December. I mean, Lord, I said December. February the 28th. The raffle will take place on March the 1st. Okay. All right, let's get into it, y'all. We have a lot to get into today. A lot. So let's just jump into it. You said, Tracy, you can't get drunk. You have a wooden leg. Child, she tried. Baby. Like I said, we'll have a whole live and we'll talk about it. All right. Now, look, I'm going to scroll back because, baby, we haven't gone live in a minute. So let me scroll back. I think this might be the last time I went live. Yeah, because I talked about Matlock being renewed. Okay. So let me scroll all the way back, honey, and see what we talked about. It says here Byron Allen won his settlement, his $10 billion racial discrimination case against McDonald's, plus another $100 million in a separate lawsuit. Y'all know Byron Allen has been, baby, he's been suing these people. So it looks like he's won a couple of his lawsuits for a lot of money. Baby, I saw this rumor. I don't know. It's a rumor. It's not true. I mean, it's not confirmed, but allegedly, baby, they say Hillary Clinton is thinking about suing Donald Trump for $100 billion for defamation, because he keeps saying she's a criminal and she did all these criminal things when she was Secretary of State, honey. And she said absolutely not. So they say allegedly. Like I said, I don't know if that's true, but they say allegedly. But we'll know when we know. I guess we'll know if and when we know, honey. Right, Byron Allen, listen, but he sued McDonald's because he said McDonald's, I forgot the details of the lawsuit, so I don't even want to make nothing up, child. I'm gonna be honest, I forgot the details of the lawsuit. Child, I don't know what it is, why I can't. Is this the one I'm looking for? I don't know. All right, anyway. I feel like I'm real small in that frame. You heard it too? Mm-hmm. And listen, my thing is, baby, go for it. He sue everybody else. Go for it. Sue him. Sue him. Allegedly, because I was gonna say quiet is kept. We'll get to the E files later. Y'all know E stands for, but quiet is kept, and loud as it is, he sued everybody except for the people that said he was in the E files. He don't have a lawsuit for none of them, does he? Interesting. You going to Zabby's? You mean Zaxby's? I need to go to. They just opened up a Zaxby's here. I think over the summer. I might have to check it out. Tracy said the bar is open. They have a Henny hibiscus martini, a green tea mojito, and a pineapple jalapeno margarita. You got a lot of spicy stuff going on over there. Thank you, Brooklyn. Congratulations to Sunny Hostin. It says that the adaptation of her book, Summer on the Bluffs, is going to be turned into an Amazon series. Norman Vance Jr. is going to be the showrunner. Let me tell you something. That was one of the books that I was going to kind of do a review of on my other channel. I think I'm still going to do it, especially now that they're turning it into a series. And when the series comes out, we're going to, we'll review it like we did with Black Cake. It's a good book. If you have not read Summer on the Bluffs, it is an excellent book. And I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Now, I haven't read any of the sequels yet. I plan to because I think that I'm pretty certain they're going to be, I don't know if they're spinoffs, because in the book, there are 3 sisters. So I'm wondering if those spinoffs are the sisters' individual stories, because I just haven't read them yet. But if you have not read it, it is a good book. It is a really good read. It's sort of along the lines of the Inkwell. It's like along those lines where it's dealing with Black excellence. It's dealing with rich, Black rich people, Black excellence. And I love it because it's unapologetic about rich people having money. They don't talk, it's not all my life I had to fight. And there's nothing wrong with those kinds of books either, because it's our story and they need to be told. However, this book is just very unapologetically Black. Summer on the Bluffs by Sunny Hostin. And I'm not gonna tell too much of the story, but the the matriarch and her husband, it talks about how they got their money. It talks about how, and it was a good story. And then they have their 3 daughters, and it's the story about that. And that's why I say I think the spinoffs deal with those 3 daughters. So I'm not sure when this is coming out, but we will review it when it comes out. And maybe I'll go over and do maybe I will go and still do like a short video. I probably won't do like a long thing, but maybe just a short review of the book and that I recommended and to go read it. So, okay. Congratulations. Robert Cosby Jr. has been released from prison. Well, he was in jail. He wasn't in prison. After serving 86 days, he was sentenced to 24 months of probation, 75 hours of community service, and mandatory anger management and substance abuse classes. So we're just going to pray that he does well. I mean, listen, the young man has an addiction, and it's going to be hard. Addictions are not easy. It's going to sell on Amazon for $10. Go ahead and grab it. It's worth it. I listened to the audiobook, which was good. The person they had narrating it was good. I need to find a Black bookstore and buy Sunny's book. Chuck, isn't there a Black? Oh, shoot. Child, don't get me lying. Former NFL player Charles Tillman, who actually had gone on and was working with the FBI, it says here that he has quit his job over immigration operations. Quote, "I want to be on the right side of history when it's all said and done," end quote. Well, shout out to him. Shout out to him. Who's that? I just told you who he was. He's a former NFL player. Suit star Gina Torres. Her Los Angeles home was broken into. It says robbers got away with over $200,000 in jewelry and cash. So I don't understand. Like it, I just feel like some of these jobs are just inside jobs. I just don't understand how. Anyway, whatever. Black History Month moment. Christina Jenkins is an African-American hairdresser who invented the weave during the 1950s. Now, I'm going to be honest, Miss Jenkins, no disrespect to you, okay? But for me, that is a double-edged sword. Because I hate weaves. And let me be clear. When I say I hate weaves, I don't hate women who have weaves. I don't hate women who invest in a weave or even a good wig. That ain't what I'm saying. I hate that we have started using weaves in lieu of getting our hair done. Okay, so let me put in context what I'm saying. I'm talking about my students now. I'm not talking about adults, although this could apply to some adults as well. I'm talking about my students. When I was growing up, I went to from 5th grade until I graduated from college. I went to the hairdresser regularly. Me, my mom, and my sister, we went to the hairdresser every Wednesday. Every other Wednesday, excuse me. Every 2 weeks, we went to the hairdresser. That was just automatic. That was what we did. Every other Wednesday, her name was Gwen. She was my hairdresser. She did all 3 of our hair, me, my mama, and my sister. It was just every other Wednesday. That's what we were going to be till about 7, 8 o'clock at night. Because by the time she did all 3 of our hair, it was about 7, 8 o'clock at night. And usually it was fast food night because my mama wasn't going to cook. So it was like, order a pizza. Let's get some McDonald's or something. It was fast food night. Okay. But in between those 2 weeks, if for whatever reason I screwed my hair up, if my hair got wet, if it just did not last, you know what I knew how to do? I knew how to slick my hair back into a ponytail and go about my merry little way. I feel like this whole phenomenon of weaves and wigs with our young children, I'm not talking about adults, with our young kids has created this mentality that if they don't have a fresh wig or weave, and I shouldn't even say fresh because sometimes they be raggedy, okay? But it's almost as if they don't have weave in their hair or a wig on, then they don't know what to do. And that's why we literally have kids who don't come to school talking about, well, I had to wait to get my hair done. If you don't put that shit back in a ponytail, and I also think, again, this is me, I also think that stuff makes our kids look too grown. Having an 8-year-old with weave in her hair down to her butt, I think that I just think that's too much. I think that's too much. Wigs, I just think it's too much. Now, again, by the time I went to high school, yeah, we wore our hair out and we did all of the things. But I mean, again, I'm talking about middle school kids that are just, I think it's too much. And I think that's why we have curated this mindset of these bonnets, because in their mind, if their hair isn't done, they don't want to go outside with their hair just in a ponytail or something. It's something wrong with it, And yeah, so I think a weave is a great tool, especially for, and wigs too. But I just think we have, as a society, we have fallen back on it to our detriment, in my opinion. Right. Girls today don't know how to do their hair, excuse me. And even when they do each other's hair, it's to put a weave in or put a wig on, anyway. My 10-year-old died for locks at 7 years old. Meanwhile, I use creamy crack every 8 weeks and she gives me the business about it. Now, I understand like natural hair. Like there are a lot of students that are natural. A lot of my students are natural. And I love the natural look. I love the fact that they're bold enough to wear their natural hair. So locking it up to me, but again, it's a personal decision for parents. I get the bonnet in public, but I hate the bonnet. I don't get it. There's nothing anybody can tell me to explain the bonnet. And again, I've had that conversation a million times, but there's nothing. The only time I see putting a bonnet on is if you're literally on your way to the hairdresser. Like, for example, when I take my braids out and I'm on my way to the hairdresser, I will put my bonnet on my head to leave the house because my hair is like this, because I took my braids out and it looks like this. Like that I can see, but to put a bonnet on your head to go out in public and do stuff, go to work, go to school, go to the mall, go out to eat, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Hey, Nisa. Riri, what's up? Hey, really being chat is way too much for teens. They need to learn how to do their own hair naturally, no bonnet. Yeah. So what's most important is what's in their heads, not what's on it. Values are all messed up. My mother wouldn't let me miss school for superficial reasons. I tried. Right. I just didn't understand. I don't understand it. No shower curtains in public in 1966 civil rights bonnets. Child. But again, listen, I ain't telling, that's just me, that's just me. And we've had that conversation a million times and everybody gonna feel how they feel about it. But, but again, shout out to the inventor, because there's a need for it. I think about people who can't grow hair or people who just want to switch their hair. There's nothing wrong with listen, as an adult, I don't see anything wrong with a weave or wig as adults. I just think that we're allowing our children to do it too young, too often, too soon. That's just me. That's just my opinion. I would see them in a full face of makeup, but a bonnet on, like you couldn't brush it into a puff ball or something. Right. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody just sent me something. Hold on. All right. Sorry, y'all. Let me get it. Somebody just sent me something. All right, let's get back into it. Okay. Shout out to Jesse Russell. He is the inventor of the smartphone, text messages, and cell phone calls. He has over 60 patents and is known as the father of 2G. And he is still alive. So shout out to him. Let me see here. All right. Some of these we did talk about, so let me scroll past them. A lot of these are like Glorilla and her sister. We're going to get to that. We talked about that. I don't care about that. We talked about that. Elon Musk, I don't know if you guys heard about this. His offices over in France were raided, and he is looking at some possible criminal charges in France over his name being involved and being mentioned in the e-files. It says he's been forced into it, and it also says that here in the United States, he has been forced into a deposition over the court questioning his authority to dismantle USA Aid when that whole Doge stuff. So he looks like he's looking at a possible, what's up? What I just said? Deposition. Okay. Speaking of bonnets, I saw a lady in the casino with her bonnet and PJs on. Oh, Jesus. I saw a couple of PJs and bonnets. I did see a few. What El Taddy? I ain't see him. What up, El Taddy? Cheryl said she just need a glass of sparkling water. She said, Tracy, she can't do no alcohol right now. Cheryl said, I tapped out. What up, El Teddy? Hey, boo. Cheryl said, I tapped out. All right. Countries that are launching investigations into the e-files: France, Turkey, the United Kingdom, Poland, Lithuania, Norway, Latvia, Australia, North Macedonia, and Sweden. Let me say this. Everybody losing their job except for that motherfucker. We're gonna talk more about the e-files in a minute. Actually, we might as well because I'm just going through the stuff I saved, child. It says that the FBI files claim that Jeffrey Epstein introduced Melania to Donald Trump, but I think we knew that though. Didn't we know that? I'm not being funny. I really thought we knew that already. Okay, moving right along. I'm just scrolling through. Baby, I'm just scrolling through what's in my phone, child. Hold on. Now, this story, I didn't talk a lot about this story. Hey, everybody, but America's is the worst. Thank you, Candace. Thank you. This is a new lipstick I got. This is Fenty. It's new, but it's Fenty. I mean, it's new to me. What's the color on this? It's called, child, you know I can't see this stuff. It's called Blackberry. Blackberry, I think they said it's called. Now, I didn't talk a lot about the president down to the Morris Brown getting fired. They said that the president down to the Morris Brown had gotten fired maybe about a month or so ago, after he was the one that brought Morris Brown back from the brink of destruction, got their accreditation back. Everybody thought he was such a great guy, and then out of nowhere he was fired. And they said he was given no explanation. He was just, fired. Well, anybody with 2 cents knows it's more to that story. Ain't no way. It's more to that story, right? You never got a text message? What you mean you never got a text message? A text message will pop up. I told you to call me yesterday when you got off the phone. That's what I told you to do. Now, I don't know what text message you talking about. So they hired him back, right? And in my mind, I was like, sir, don't go. Because I said, they didn't fire you for no reason. Now, maybe they didn't go about it. Thank you, Lauren. Maybe they didn't go about it in the correct way. But they didn't fire you for no reason. They didn't just pull that out the sky. And I was just like, sir, don't go back. You told me to check my messages, ma'am. You didn't say. Yes, it. Hold on. Abby, that text message right there says, right there. What does that say? What does that say? Let me pull it back. Let me pull it back a little bit. Call me when you are in between calls. That's what it says. It says, call me. And I sent that yesterday at 6:16 p.m. That's what it say. That's what it say. Moving right along. See, people be... El Teddy, I literally just showed y'all the text message. Moving right along. Why did you send me a screenshot? It's on the screenshot you just sent me. It says, call me when you are in between calls. Why would you send me a screenshot where it proves that I didn't lie? What you talking about? Abby, what you mean you ain't get? It's right there. You sent me the screenshot. You don't see the screenshot? Call me when you are in between calls, because I knew you were at work yesterday at 6. You see right there where it says the date and time? Yesterday at 6:16. Oh, Jesus. Go and get you some food, El Teddy. Bye, boy. Bye. Right. That's when you put the eyeballs. I thought you saw it. Girl, bye. Call me when I get off of here. Call me when I get done. See what I go through with these two? Lord, El Teddy talking about something, she be lying. And I'm literally showing you the text message. My goodness. Lord, hallelujah. Praise him. Moving right along. Thank you. Thank you, pretty great eyes. Thank you, boo. Abby. I'm gonna do you because you were the one dropping in talking about something she be lying. You wasn't even in that. Mm-hmm. Moving right along. Moving right along. Back to this. Now, it say Dr. Kevin James, who was recently fired and rehired. Allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly. Allegedly, he told a potential hire, quote, if I give you the dick, you might not be able to handle it, end quote. So you should never have gone back. You knew. Listen, they may not have gone about the right way of firing you. Like it doesn't sound like they crossed all their T's and they dotted all of their I's. But sir, you knew they had reasons. Sir, you knew they had reasons. Mm-hmm. You knew they had their reasons. So you should have just stayed on over there and played the victim. And somebody would have hired you. Somebody would have picked you up. Because you had a good reputation that you saved Morris Brown. Now they fired you and you looked like you had been done dirty. You look like the victim. You should have just let that stay the way it was. Because, sir, Now they say that was in a leaked video. That video wasn't leaked. They put that video out there so people like us, I'm not me, but the people who was out here defending him was shut up. These people do too much. Just do too much. So you knew they had just cause to fire you. You knew they did. You should just went on over there and shut up. Just shut up. Let me scroll because some of this stuff I don't feel like talking about no more. Okay. There's Hulu is going to be doing an adaptation of Amy Dubois Barnett's If I Ruled the World as a drama series, and Lee Daniels will produce it. So here's another book, you guys, that maybe we need to add to our list. It's called, and I've been seeing this book. I just haven't read it yet. If I Ruled the World. So maybe we can add that to our list. Maybe I can add it to my list. So we're gonna add that to the list, y'all. Okay. All right. Let me do. Okay, I can delete that. Okay. Okay. Let me see here. It says here that New York and New Jersey is suing Donald Trump after he demands that Dulles Airport and Penn Station be named after him to release $16 billion in federal funding needed for construction. Dulles Airport is in Virginia. It says New York and New Jersey is suing him, but Dulles is in Virginia. But neither here nor there. Another lawsuit, another day, child. You read it? You said it's really good. I'm gonna add it to. I've been seeing it. I just haven't read it yet. But I've been seeing it around. I like it like that. Yeah, I tried to get a picture the first night of the cruise of all of us in our shirts. The best I have is I scanned the room with all of us with our shirts on. That's just gonna have to do. We didn't think look, I'm gonna just be honest about something with y'all. Tracy and El Teddy got us drunk before we even listen. We were drunk before dinner. And so when we went to dinner, I think most of us were just trying to put some more, just and so we never got a group picture. We didn't get a group picture. So I'm sorry. That's the best I got. I'm sorry. We're going to have to do better on the next cruise to get a group picture because we didn't get one. El Teddy did give us the liquid IV. That doesn't change the fact that we were drunk at dinner. Because we said we're going to get a picture. We're going to get a picture. We're going to get a picture. And then, we weren't on Virgin Voyages. Scarlet Night is on Virgin. So there was no Scarlet Night. Whatever, El Teddy. Anyway. All right, hold on. It says Stephon Diggs is being sued by is being sued for defamation after a former employer says that he was falsely accused of stealing a Ferrari, claims that his ACL tore after allegedly being jumped by Stephon's crew and following the accusations. I didn't dig any deeper into that. I don't know any more about it. I'm just reading y'all the headlines. So we're going to get to Stephon in a minute when we talk about her and what's that boy's name that she married to? I mean, not married to. Y'all know what I'm saying, child. I can't get it out. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Her and Stephon, child. Her and Stephon. The View is under investigation by the Trump administration. Listen, who is shocked? Not I. I knew it was only a matter of time. I'm actually surprised it took this long for them to call themselves investigating The View. Child, whatever. Don't care. Okay, we can delete that. Now, here's a story that I think I want to dig. Shut up, El Teddy. Here's a story that I do want to dig a little deeper into. So we're going to have to come back around to this, but I want to just give y'all a little bit of headline. I don't know if you guys remember that the Blind Side star Quentin Aaron, the guy who played in the movie The Blind Side, not the real person. We talked about his lawsuit, which we didn't really hear no more about. So I'm assuming they must have settled that lawsuit because we ain't heard nothing else about it. Anyway, anyway, the person who played him in The Blind Side, y'all know he went into the hospital and they said that he was like really, really, really sick. Well, now they're saying his family is saying that they found some alarming details about his health crisis and they are questioning his wife, and they put that in air quotes amid the hospital crisis. So I'm going to just read y'all this little synopsis, but I'm going to have to do some dig a little deeper. It says, Quentin Aaron is recovering in the hospital following a serious medical emergency. And now his family says they've uncovered troubling information about the woman who claims to be his wife. In a statement shared with Us Weekly, Aaron's relatives said they found alarming details about her background, prompting concern as the actor remains incapacitated. According to the family, questions arose after they began looking into the legitimacy of the marriage itself, as well as claims made by the woman. Her name, she's been identified as Margarita. About who she is and her role in Aaron's life. We have found some alarming details, the family said, adding that they believe she is not who she claims to be. The family stressed that their concerns surfaced only after Aaron was hospitalized and unable to speak for himself, saying their priority is protecting his well-being while he recovers. They also emphasized that they are not trying to create drama, but rather seeking clarity during a vulnerable time. TMZ reported that Margarita told them that she and Aaron were spiritually married, which means they're not legally married. Okay. But not legally married, and that she does not have power of attorney. She also told the outlet that she has not made any medical decisions on his behalf while he has been hospitalized. Aaron's family, however, told Us Weekly that they are troubled by inconsistencies surrounding Margarita's claims, and fear the situation could become more complicated if the roles and the authority are not clearly defined. They said they plan to address everything directly once once he is healthy enough to communicate. As Aaron continues to recover, the situation has sparked concern among fans, and many hoping for clarity and stability once the actor is able to speak for himself. Now, I know he has now woken up, but I think when he's, well enough to really get into these. Child. I don't know, Abby. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Listen. Right. Abby said, is it alarming or are they just mad because, he cutting into their piece of the pie? Baby, I don't know. Here's another story that we're going to dig deeper into. But like I said today, we got a lot to cover. But this situation with NFL player James Pearson Jr., who was arrested and charged after dispute involving his ex-NBA player, Rickea Jackson. Now, this person, the two of them have been dating for a long time, right? And allegedly they broke up. They have broken up recently. Well, she was on her way to the police station because of an altercation that the two of them had. And he proceeded to follow her to the police station and then try to stop her from going to the police by ramming his Lamborghini into her car. The police eventually had to subdue him. I think he punched the police officer first before he was actually subdued. Y'all listen. And it's sad because, sir, you just got drafted. Like, your whole world is getting ready to change. And now it's probably going to be over before it even gets started. Now, I don't know the whole story. But we've got to teach our kids that no means no. If they broke up and she doesn't want to be with you anymore, she doesn't want to be with you anymore. And again, I don't know the whole story. That's why I said I gotta dig a little deeper here. But it just sounds like they broke up and he drove into a police officer. My God. So again, this is stuff that happened while we were gone. I have not had a chance to dig deeper. We're gonna have to dig deeper. It says the entire situation started after Pierce Jr. allegedly stalked his ex from his car and then tried to get into her car at an intersection. She sped away, but he still continued to go after her, allegedly. A mess. Okay. I think I'm almost done. Former New York Jets linebacker Darren Lee charged with first-degree murder and girlfriend's death. Authorities say evidence points to a violent struggle inside the Tennessee home. And y'all, we're not gonna blame everything on CTE. I know that a lot of these athletes do. I know a lot of these athletes do suffer from CTE, but we ain't gonna put everything on CTE. We're not gonna put everything on CTE. Sometimes these people just don't know how to take no for an answer. Sometimes people are abusive because they're abusive. Like, all right, I think I'm done. I think I'm done going through. Judge orders Trump administration to return 3 families to the U.S. after finding ICE agents use lies to deport them. More people watch the Puppy Bowl than MAGA's halftime show. Again, I'm just going through the stories I saved in my phone, y'all. This is what I came home to yesterday, just so y'all know. I came home to the front of my house being towed up. There was a water main break, and they literally had to tow my car because nobody could get me on the phone. I was on the plane when they were trying to call me. So they literally had to tow my car so they could dig up the front. That's my parking space. So when I took an Uber to the airport. Well, obviously I didn't have my car. So when I'm coming around the corner, I said, what the hell? What is this? So that's what I was dealing with yesterday when I got home, child. All right. I think Floyd Mayweather allegedly owes more than $330,000 in unpaid rent on his New York condo. I told y'all that man was having money problems. Now you looking under cushion pillows, talk about Showtime owe you $350 million. Uh-huh. Told y'all that man was having some money issues. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, hold on. Let me see here. Now, y'all remember a few years ago, maybe about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when Leah McSweeney and all them, when she filed that lawsuit against Bravo, it was around the same time as we were talking about Bethany Frankel and Nene were linking up. It was around the same time when the lady from Real Housewives of New Jersey sued because of what happened on the Ultimate Girls Trip, allegedly. Y'all remember that? Baby, why they said that allegedly, this is page 6, honey. They said allegedly Andy Cohen is worried because the judge has found that there's enough evidence to move forward with her lawsuit. Now remember, for those of you, I'm going to refresh our memory. Leah McSweeney was a recovering alcoholic, I believe. Hey, what's up, boo? Hey, Kenneth. And allegedly, she was talking about how they were like basically trying to make her drink, putting her in compromising positions to make her want to drink. And she said she even had a relapse. I believe, again, we read that lawsuit a couple of years ago. I don't remember all the details, but I know it had to deal with her sobriety and her relapse and how them trying to make her drink and producers putting her in situations that will cause her to want to have a drink and relapse and stuff like that. I remember that. But they said the judge said there's allegedly sufficient evidence. Mm-hmm. Now here's what's stupid. Did y'all see the video of Ja Rule and Tony Yayo in first class on the plane getting into it, and then Ja Rule ended up getting put off the plane? Did y'all see that? Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did the other stuff too. Mm-hmm. Hold on, y'all, real quick. This is what I don't understand. These grown ass men are in first class on a whole plane. And y'all don't know how to act right. So what happened was Ja Rule was in first class on the plane, and then Tony Yayo and his entourage. For those who don't know Tony Yayo, he was part of G Unit. He's linked up with 50 Cent. And y'all know that 50 Cent and Ja Rule, they have had beef for years. Probably 15, 20 years they've had beef, right? But again, 15, 20 years, we still fighting? Like, we grown ass men in first class on a whole plane. Like, y'all about to risk getting put on a no-fly list, getting federal charges because y'all can't sit on a fucking plane together and coexist. Y'all are in first class. If y'all don't put y'all headphones on, kick your feet up, and wait for that damn meal to come around, get a drink from the fucking flight attendant, and go on about y'all merry little way. Right, Abby. All I know is one place I'm not gonna act up is the damn airport. Now, to be fair, I don't really blame Ja Rule because Ja Rule was already sitting in his seat when they got on the plane, and they literally were sitting behind him and they were talking shit. You know, once they realized it was Ja Rule, they're behind him. You know, they talking that shit. They making these nasty comments. And Ja Rule stood up and was like, yo, what the fuck? What is your issue? And then they proceeded to argue. Now, if I'm being very honest, I feel like Ja Rule probably wanted to get put off the plane, but he ain't want to get up and walk off the plane and make it look like they ran him off the plane. So I really feel like he started this argument knowing that they would just put him off the plane. Because I would not have wanted to sit on a flight with them. I mean, they were sitting directly behind him. I would have been like, is there another seat anywhere else in first class? I am not going to have them sitting behind me the whole flight. Like, I'm not, like, they could have been throwing shit. They could, you know what I mean? I'm not, like, because clearly they're not going to be adults about this situation. Because I didn't even know they were on the plane. I was already sitting in my seat. I was already seated, getting comfortable, pulling out my tablet and shit, getting myself situated. Okay. I was already getting myself situated when they got on the plane. And they're literally sitting right behind me. And I don't feel comfortable with them behind me. So I feel like maybe in Ja Rule's juvenile mind, that was the best option was, well, I'm just going to act like I really going to fight so they can put me off the plane so I don't look like a punk just getting up and walking off the plane. But see, that's the problem now. So you are 50 years old. You a whole granddaddy. Who gives a fuck if you look like a quote unquote punk? At the end of the day, I'm getting up off this plane. And if you got a gig or you have to be somewhere at a certain time, they said they were throwing, right? They were throwing shit and everything, right? So I don't know if he had already, because again, you only see a clip. I don't know if he had already asked if there was another seat. I don't know. But I do feel like Tony Yayo and his entourage escalated the situation because Ja Rule was already sitting down. And they claim that they didn't see each other, which makes me think, so none of y'all was in the first class lounge? Y'all was just walking around the airport? How y'all didn't see each other? But okay. But anyway. But I would have been embarrassed. Had I been one of them other black people in first class, I just would have been embarrassed. For all of them. And myself. Why he can't just be tired? I don't think he wanted to get put off the plane. Well, what did he think the outcome was going to be? I mean, he probably was tired because they were being juvenile. Like I said, I don't blame Ja Rule for being upset. However, what did he think the outcome was going to be? You are on a plane. You are in first class. You stand up and they're literally having to hold you back. What did he think the outcome was going to be? I'm just saying. No, Ja Rule just got kicked off. They didn't get, because Ja Rule stood up and was, like he was going to fight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get it that he was probably tired. I respect that. He was probably pissed off. He probably was. And again, he was already sitting down minding his business and they started fucking with him. However, when you stand up and now you become the aggressor, what do you think the result is going to be on a plane? He's lucky that the air marshals didn't take his ass out of their handcuffs. That's what he's lucky. That's what he's lucky. Again, sometimes you can be right. And like my dad used to tell me, you can be right and you be dead right. Sometimes you can be right. That doesn't mean that the outcome is going to go in your favor. Again, I don't know what Ja Rule did prior to the video. Maybe Ja Rule did ask to be moved. Maybe Ja Rule did report them to the stewardess. I mean, to the airline, the flight attendant. I don't know if all those things had happened. But what I do know is he was the one that got put off the flight, which means at some point he became the aggressor. But they did start with him. And to me, that's stupid. Like, grow the fuck up. There's no reason why y'all grown men couldn't have sat on that plane and got from point A to point B without it being a problem. Like, there's just no reason. To me, we too old for that bullshit. Like, y'all are granddaddies. Yeah, Ja Rule threw the Ja Rule threw the pillow. He did throw the pillow. He told me, and then Ja Rule gonna say, "Yeah, I threw the pillow because he's soft, sir." The CEO of Chuck E. Cheese has stepped down because his name was in the e-files. Like I said, everybody losing their job except for, the orange guy. The monks have made it to Washington, D.C. They were over at the National, the Shrine Cathedral, over near where I grew up at. That's actually where I graduated from high school. And so they are here. They are now here in D.C. Okay. They said that Britney Spears has allegedly sold her catalog, the rights to her music catalog. I'm gonna be honest and say, if she is fully of sound mind and body and understands what she's doing, and it's been explained to her, and it's not somebody just taking advantage of her, I'm happy for her. It's a lot of money to be made. Why not? But when it comes to Britney Spears, we always just gotta ask all of those things. You know what I'm saying? Your boyfriend and you broke up over the Bad Bunny performance. Why did you and your boyfriend break up over the Bad Bunny performance? Not pillow fight, sleepover. Well, why did y'all break up? What made y'all break up over the Bad Bunny? Baby, they said that Robin Leach of the Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous is in the e-files. They said allegedly he tried to strangle a young girl. That's what they said. Y'all remember Robin Leach from the Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous? Hold on, y'all. Let me check something before. And now we're about to get into these couple of stories. Hold on, let me check something. I don't wanna. Nope. Okay. I just wanted to check something real quick before we got into the next thing. Okay. I thought Robin Leach was dead. He's still alive? Who, Robin Leach? Hey. I mean, I don't think I ever thought about it as far as Robin Leach. I don't think I ever thought about it. I used to love watching Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, though. I used to love watching that show. You were asking me if he was dead? I'm saying I think so. Okay, everybody's saying, yeah, he gone. He passed in 2018. Okay. All right, so let's get into this. We're gonna do Bad Bunny last. I'm sorry you and your boyfriend broke up over Bad Bunny. I'm not sure. I mean, did y'all break up because he had an issue with it and you didn't, or you had an issue with it and he didn't? I mean, what made? I mean, if you don't mind me asking, I mean, you kind of brought it up, but what made y'all break up? He even gaslighted me and said I was the one making it a racial thing. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, let me scroll up. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see what you said. Let me see. Because he absolutely hated it and said things that made me feel disrespected. I can't be with someone who doesn't like my culture. He's white. Oh, well, listen. When a person shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Yeah. Yeah. When a person shows you who they, I mean, I'm sorry to hear that, but when a person shows you who they are, believe them the first time, honey. All right. Well, listen, let's talk about the e-files, and then we're gonna talk about let's talk about the e-files, and we're gonna talk about Uncle Nearest, then we'll talk about Cardi and then Bad Bunny. Let me say this. As it relates to the e-files, it seems that some of the things that have been redacted is having to be unredacted. So some of those black marks are being unblacked out. And because Congress went to the judge and was basically like, I'm not like, unless these are the victims' names, none of the rest of this should be blacked out. The only thing that should be blacked out are victims' names. Everything else should be public knowledge. And so a lot of names are being revealed. A lot more is coming out away. It's coming out now because of that. And a lot, and let me say this. I haven't read the Epstein files, let's be clear. But I also think it depends on what context these names are. Just because your name is in there does not mean that you are guilty of something. So I need to hear the context of these people's names. Now, just let me be clear. I'm not trying to absolve anybody at all. I'm not trying to absolve anybody. If you there, you there. If you did it, you did it. If you was involved, you was involved. I ain't trying to absolve anybody, but I also don't want this to turn into just because your name was mentioned that somebody said they saw you or they think they saw you at a party one time, that means that you are guilty and you are one of the people. I just think that we need to be, when I say we, I don't mean me. I just mean the people need to be clear. Now, with that being said, and victims' names weren't redacted from what I heard. And that might be true too, because y'all know they're doing whatever they want to do over there. The names that are coming up, though, are very interesting. So, for example, the CEO of Chuck E. Cheese. So, you're the CEO of Chuck E. Cheese. The head of one of the top talent agencies in Hollywood has had to step down or been pressured to step down because he represents some of the top, or his agency represents some of the top stars in Hollywood right now, and they were like, "Yeah, absolutely not." Like we're gonna get to that in a minute, Miss Kiki. That's where I'm about to go last. Either he's gonna step down or I'm gone. I'm taking my business. And a few stars have already moved along. Okay. The one, though, out of all the ones that we've been hearing over the last couple of days, the one that really made me take pause was the Life Touch one. Anybody that has gone to school in the last 30 years knows Life Touch. Life Touch is probably the top company that comes in and takes your pictures at the school. They do the graduation pictures. They do the yearly, I know y'all, the school pictures. Yes, Life Touch. And what I was reading today was they literally have access. Once you, as a parent, have ordered pictures, they have those pictures. They have the proofs of every single child picture that they have ever taken. They know your address. They know the name of the guardians, the parents, the person who ordered the pictures. They know the school that those children attend. Hell, they even have your financial information if you pay with a credit card, a check. Right, and all the photos that you didn't pay for. I mean, how many times have your parents said, "Oh, I don't like the way those look. I'm not ordering those." I mean, back in the day, we didn't get proofs first. The pictures just showed up, and whatever it was, oh well, you had to live with it. But now the kids get to see the digital pictures first, and then you order them and all that good stuff. But That is scary. Now, when you think over the last, 30 years? Because hell, I ain't been in high school in 30 years. So let's say 40, 50 years. Life Touch, they're not the only company, but they're damn sure in the top 3. At least in my area. I mean, of course, I can't speak for the whole United States, but I can speak for my area. They're in the top 3. That's scary, y'all. That's very, very, very scary. So as the days continue to move on and these people continue, and when I talk about these people, I'm talking about the people that I trust. I ain't talking about mainstream media. I'm talking about the Don Lemons, the Aaron, what's his, Peronis, the Brian Taylors, the Roland Martins, like the independent journalists that I follow that are continuing to like dig through and Midas Touch, that are digging and digging and digging and digging, and they're looking at it with an attorney's lens, and they're understanding what they're looking at, and they're breaking it down for us. Those are the people that I'm talking about. As they continue to go through all of this stuff and report to us, hey Kim, hey boo, Joyanne Reed, it's very scary, and it's worldwide. It is worldwide. And it's really interesting to me that the only people that don't seem to be worried are, and when I say Americans, I don't mean us Americans. I mean, like, overseas, like literally heads of state are losing their jobs. I mean, we saw Prince Andrew lost his whole title. He lost everything. But for some reason, here in the United States, not enough. Anyway, child. My tea is cold now. I'm gonna have to warm it back up. All right, let me give y'all a quick Uncle Nearest update. It's funny too because we talked about this on the ship. I don't know if New Jones is still in here or not, but who was up there with us that night? It was New Jones, Majini, Lady Libra, Cheryl, and Terica. I think all of us, I think we were all that night up on deck talking about Uncle Nearest, and we were kind of talking about the case a little bit because ultimately I still feel like this company really just wants to take Uncle Nearest. However, it sounds like they're making it easy. So in the, Uncle Nearest is under receivership. So the first report from the receiver was a very positive report for Uncle Nearest. He basically said, "Look, I've looked at what they're bringing in. I look at what's going out. I do not think that they're that that they're that extended. I think this is a quick fix. I think that this could be something that can be worked out and they could be put in a good place. They shouldn't have to file bankruptcy, all of the things, right?" That was his first report. So as a result of his first report, Uncle Nearest filed paperwork and was like, "Can we get from under this receivership?" The man said, "We good." The man said, "We just need to do some things and we should be solvent and we should be good. Can we get from under this receivership?" Well, oh yeah, Tawana, you were up there too, girl. Look, I keep remember who was where. Yeah, when we were at the cigar situation. So yeah, the cigar bar. So the second report, though, from the receiver, not so good. The second report from the receiver said, "Oh, hold on. I've had a little bit more time to dig a little deeper. I've had a little bit more time to talk to some employees. I've had a little bit more time to go through some more of these records. And what I have found is they are overextended. their inventory does not match what they say their inventory is, which means that they're still basically lying about how much the company is worth. Because if they say they have 200,000 bottles of whiskey in inventory, that translates into money. But the receiver is now saying, well, instead of having $200,000 worth of inventory, they really only have 120,000 bottles worth of inventory. So that 80,000 bottles of inventory makes a difference in what they're saying their company is worth, right? And when I say bottles, I shouldn't say barrels. But also what they said was, they said that basically it was the CEO was the problem. He was the one that inflated the numbers. But based on the updated records that Uncle Nearest has submitted to the receiver after they fired the CFO, after they fired the guy that they said was the reason, he said there's still a discrepancy here. So you can't blame the guy you fired if you still have this fraudulent inventory, which again means that your company isn't worth what you say your company is worth, which means you can't secure this loan because this loan was based off of you saying your company was worth this amount of money and it's not. The receiver also said that they are working in the negative. They are literally losing, according to the receiver, they are literally losing $35 million a month. Now, what the receiver did say was, I've been able to find enough stuff to cut, I guess, waste and fraud. I don't want to use that term, waste and fraud, after Doge. But the receiver was like, I've been able to find enough stuff to cut that it takes that $35 million a month to $150,000 a month. Now, I don't know what the hell this mofo found that would take their loss from 35 million to 100, maybe it was 3.5 million. It might have been 3.5 million, but he got it down to $150,000 a month. The problem is the negative is the negative is the negative. You can't run a business in the negative. So as a result of the receiver's updated report, now Royal, whoever the debtor is, I can't remember the name of the business now, Royal something, they've now filed paperwork saying, we want the company. Which is what I thought their goal was all along. I honestly thought all along that they wanted the company. I thought from the beginning their goal was to steal Uncle Nearest. But it sounds like Uncle Nearest is making it kind of easy for him. Liquor and food always sell. Where's the money? Well, again, the money is, it sounds like what they're accusing him of is that they've mismanaged the money. Clearly, the company's making money. The money. Uncle Nearest is making money. The question is, what are they spending? If you want a full breakdown, hold on. Let me put the link in the chat. I'll put the link in the chat of the video I watched because you can get the full breakdown for yourself. Like I said, y'all, we don't have time. We got a lot to catch up on, honey. I don't have time to get y'all to go through everything. But I'm gonna put this in the chat. Hold on, is this the right thing? Did I do the? Hold on. Come on. Oh, no wonder. It's a screenshot. Hold on. I'll put it in the chat though. I'll find it. If you go to I'm Not a Lawyer, but it's her channel. We used her before during the what trial was that? Child, one of them trials. I'm Not a Lawyer, but here's the link right here. Here it is. I'll put the link in the chat so y'all can kind of hear for yourself. Okay, here it is right here. So y'all can go look at the whole video. She does a great breakdown of everything. So and then if you want to even go back to the beginning, she's been following this case from the beginning. So you could probably find her playlist and start at when the lawsuit was first filed. And because we did talk about the lawsuit we've talked about the lawsuit 2 or 3 times. But she goes through it. And again, she's not a lawyer, but she does a really, really good job of breaking that stuff down. So y'all can go check that out. Okay. What are we going to talk about next, child? Okay, let's talk about Cardi B and Stephon. Well, it looks like they broke up. Now, here's the thing. I've heard 2 versions of why they allegedly broke up. I choose to believe the second version of the story because the first version of the story came from Tasha K. And So the second version of the story makes more sense. So the version of the story that I heard, allegedly, Stephon wanted all of his kids at the Super Bowl. We know he has a child with the other woman that was recently confirmed through DNA test that it is his son. He allegedly wanted all of his kids at the Super Bowl. Cardi was cool with it because she knows she got a co-parent and deal with the fact that he has another young child. However, Cardi don't fool with the girl because allegedly the girl has sent information to the tabloids and has leaked stuff to the tabloids and that kind of stuff. So Cardi really don't fool with her like that. But she was cool. Okay, the son is coming, great. So the original story, the arrangements were that Stephon Diggs' mom was going to get the child. The baby mama wasn't coming, but the baby was, and his mother was supposed to get the child and bring the child to the Super Bowl. Well, the mom decided, I don't want to do that. I'm not comfortable with that. And she came. But Cardi didn't know that the baby mama was coming until Cardi saw the baby mama posted up on social media, which allegedly is what pissed Cardi off. Now, here's what we know. What we know is whatever happened between Cardi and Stephon happened the day of the Super Bowl. And here's why we know. Because the night before the Super Bowl, or maybe 2 nights before the Super Bowl, Cardi had a Super Bowl party for him that she spent over $1 million on. So let me say this, Super Bowl week. Let me say this, the party happened Super Bowl week. Super Bowl week. Now, so whatever happened between Cardi and Stephon happened after that damn party. Now, I see y'all are saying that the baby mama was front row and all of that stuff. Yep, she sure was. But allegedly, Cardi didn't know until she was there. That information wasn't shared with her until the girl was there. Allegedly. Now, that's one version. I'm going to give y'all the other version of the story. I'm going to give y'all right, Cardi left after the Bad Bunny performance. Cardi left. Right? Now, we also feel like something was probably going on with Cardi and Stephon. I don't know if y'all saw the clip of when they asked Cardi, any advice for Stephon before the Super Bowl? And her response was like, good luck. Like, you could tell she was like, whatever, good luck. Like, good luck, nigga, And Terica was telling us about that while we were smoking the cigars too, right? Remember Terica was telling us about that? So now the other version of the story is that Stephon's friend, Pre, who was allegedly like one of his best friends, who also used to mess around with Offset. So Cardi and this girl, Pre, P-R-E-E, got beef because allegedly her and Offset had a relationship and she actually got pregnant, allegedly, by Offset. And so Cardi don't fool with her either. But she was at the Super Bowl too. And of course, she posted pictures at the Super Bowl. And, so it could be either one of those things. Either way, Cardi, you knew about both of those situations when you decided to have a baby with this man. You knew that he potentially had another child with another woman, another baby, infant baby. You also knew that his best friend allegedly is one of Offset's ex women, allegedly. So both of them situations you knew about before you decided to have a child by this man. Now let's be clear. You grown. And you can do whatever you want to do. What up, Cruiser Bruiser? However, now let me also say this. These young folks these days, and I know before y'all say, really be, they are not that young. They're young. These young folks these days, y'all remember when we were kids and we would write all over our book, so-and-so loves so-and-so, and you would write your boyfriend's last name instead of your last name. And we used to write all over our books, our notebooks, textbooks. Remember we used to do all of that? And then when we broke up, we would scratch it all out. And then when we got back together, we write it again. And then we would break up, we would scratch it all out again. Y'all remember that's how we would tear up letters. And remember we did those things. Remember that's how we broke up with people. Well, they do the same thing. They just do it on social media. So when they break up with people or they have a fight with somebody, they unfollow each other. They delete all of the pictures. And then next week, they might be cool again. And next thing you know, they following each other again. They adding the pictures. Y'all know Tamar does that shit. She get mad at you. She'll unfollow you in mid-sentence. And then she start following you again. So I'm not saying that they are not broken up. However, the internet talks, and y'all know the minute people they unfollow each other, y'all know how it is. It just is what it is. Why not just block them? I don't even understand why you gotta do any of that. I guess because I'm one of those people, and again, I can only speak for myself. I don't move that fast. Because I understand that sometimes an argument is just an argument. So I don't have the energy to do all of that. I don't have the energy to unfollow, follow. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even care about blocking people. I can only think of I really truly only have one person blocked on social media. That's not a troll. I mean, I've had to block trolls, but like people that I knew, people that I was cool with, I literally have only blocked one person on social media. And the only reason why I blocked them is because they were stealing my content. They were literally taking stuff off of my Instagram and claiming it as theirs. So I blocked them. So they couldn't get to any more of my Instagram. That is literally the only person. Because you know why? I can ignore people. I honestly just don't pay it no attention. Like, I just don't understand the block, unblock, block, unblock, block, unblock. Because let's be clear, once I block you, that's it. I'm not doing that back and forth. So until I'm sure that I'm sure, it's whatever. I just don't see you. I really truly just don't see you. Once I'm done with you, I'm just done. But again, I understand people who block. That's cool too. If you just want to block it and move on, that's great too. But I can't do the make up the breakups. I don't have the energy in me. Yeah, I don't have that in me. El Teddy said, who has time to be checking all these celebs follows when they follow or unfollow somebody? That's too much. Yeah, I don't know who does that, El Teddy. Because I've said that before. I don't even know how y'all keep up. When I say y'all, I mean the people who do it. But they said it's an app or something you can use. But I still feel like that's way too much energy into other people's lives. And I know that I come down here and I talk about other people all the time. I understand that. I get it. That is my job to come down here and talk about other people's business. But I don't have the energy for that. I don't care. Listen, I don't know who unfollows me. You think I have time to worry about who's unfollowing, what celebrities unfollowing each other? Pretty great eyes says if I block you, I really don't F with you. Right. If I block you, baby, I'm like Cardi B, it's forever. If I actually go into my phone, open up my app, scroll down to your name and unfollow you or block you, baby, it's forever. I just don't care. Now don't get me wrong. Yeah, I just don't care. No, E40. Oh no! Oh my God! Oh no! Oh no! E40? Yo, that's my nigga. No. Where you see it at, Tracy? TMZ or something? They still selling his concert tickets. When I type in E40 news, the first thing that pop up is his concert tickets. Let me go over to TMZ, Sharon. Let me go over to TMZ. I don't see it, Tracy. Where'd you see it? Send it to me. I don't see it. I don't see it. Okay, AI said it's not true. Thank gosh. Oh God. Ooh, Lord. I was about to have a concert in my living room tonight because I love me some E40. My God. Okay. Thank you, El Teddy. Ooh, Jesus. Okay. I don't see it either. But you know what I did see as soon as I opened TMZ? It says Nancy Guthrie, first activity in her Bitcoin account. Child kidnapper is from Tucson. Child. We've seen activity for the first time in the Bitcoin account listed on the first ransom note, which was sent to us at TMZ. Baby. Law enforcement says whoever kidnapped her is from Tucson. Mm. Now, the fact that they know this woman has a Bitcoin account tells you it's somebody that knows her, in my opinion. I mean, I know that, older people, maybe they're a little loose with their information. Maybe maybe she told too many people her business. I don't know. But I just feel like to know this woman got a Bitcoin account makes me feel like some people know her business. That's just not something the average person just walks around talking about their Bitcoin account. But okay. Somebody saw it on Twitter, y'all. It was a false alarm. False alarm. My apologies. False alarm, y'all. That's all. It's okay. It's okay. He all right. Or they hacked her. Yep, they could have hacked her. Yeah. False alarm. False alarm. False alarm. All right. Or somebody could have opened an account her name. It's a lot of possibilities. We just gonna pray for that woman. They said she had her medication. They said that the scene didn't look good. So we're gonna pray. Tracy, you hear the bar still open? They said that they need a drink after that. We need an E40 special. Let's all take a shot of something. I don't know. We need to take a shot. E40 got his own wine. Let's just get some wine or something, child. Mm. Your Lil Jon's son did pass away, so we're sorry to hear that, Sorry to hear that. What's up, Jay Walsh? Hey, boo. All right, so let's get into Glorilla versus v.Brorilla. First of all, the internet, y'all ain't shit. In my L Teddy voice, y'all ain't shit for calling that girl v.Brorilla. That's the first thing. Y'all have really started calling Glorilla's sister v.Brorilla. And baby, the first time I heard that, I said, did they say v.Brorilla? Are they really calling this girl v.Brorilla? I said, okay. So v.Brorilla versus Glorilla. The latest update is pretty much everybody has come out to speak in defense of Glorilla. All of her friends, the majority of her siblings, her mother and her father have all come out to speak in defense of her and basically said, hey, she's done right by us. I don't have no arguments. I don't have no beef. Now, Glorilla finally did come live, I believe, yesterday, and she called her mom on FaceTime. She called her dad on FaceTime, and she basically spoke to the accusations, and she said, listen, my mom's straight. My dad is straight. She said, me and her weren't cool before I got famous. She was like, if you're going to tell the story, tell the story. Tell the people how I spent a week in jail because of you. Tell the people how you tried to pow me. Tell the people how you set me up and got me jumped. Like, if you're going to tell it, tell the whole story. If you're going to tell about how horrible of a sister I've been to you, tell them why. And it came out that v.Brorilla spent most of her childhood in foster homes. And come to find out, according to what Glorilla said was, she spent a lot of their childhood in foster homes because v.Brorilla would call the police on their mom. Like, if they got a whooping or they got in trouble, she would call the police on their mom. And so she was like, we ain't grow up in foster care. She was like, because if I did something wrong and I got a whooping, oh, well, I got a whooping. I deserved it. I did it. You would call the police. So the police would take you up out of here. You didn't grow up with us like you ain't grow up with us like that. But that's because of you. It wasn't because our mama was out here abusing us. Well, I'm sorry, I'm saying like Glorilla. It's not like our mother was abusing us. You just couldn't stand to be disciplined. Baby, Glorilla put it all out there. Tory Lanez gave her $2,300 the other day. All I know was when she was talking, and then while Glorilla mama was on the phone on FaceTime, while she was trying to call the mama. So now she threatening to tell the mama's business, baby. She came down here and she said, v.Brorilla, that is. v.Brorilla said, well, you was a scripper. I mean, you was out there scripting. Why you couldn't get the bills paid? Why the electricity was getting cut off? You was out there scripting. You should have been making sure that the bills was paid. What you scripting for if you can't afford to pay your bills? I said, so I guess we just gonna tell all the family business. We just gonna put it all out there, huh? Now you're gonna tell us that the mama was working the pole. And listen, it ain't no shame in that. That's an honest day's work. That's an honest day's living. It ain't nothing wrong if mama had 9 kids and mama had to go out there and shake it a little something to make sure the bills was paid. I ain't gonna shame that woman for that. I ain't gonna shame her for that. They said Glorilla bought. She was complaining that, well, you bought my daddy a car but didn't put no gas in it. What was she supposed to give him a lifetime supply of gas for the car she bought? You bought my daddy a house. It was the smallest house on the block. How big was the house he had before she bought him one? I'm just curious. How big was the house he had before she bought him one? I'm just wondering. Shut up, El Teddy. Talking about working the pole is hard, I know. Maybe that's the house he wanted, right? And not only that, but even if it ain't the house he wanted, it was free. The fuck? If somebody said, listen, if somebody called me right now and said, look, I bought you a house. It's it's not real big, but it's new, it's yours. You don't have to do nothing but keep up the maintenance and pay the utilities. Do you understand how fast I'd be packed up and out of this bitch? A free house. No mortgage. All I got to worry about is the utilities and the upkeep. All right. I'm on my way. Say less. And guess what? If you don't want it, you always have the option of saying, no, thank you. Now, I don't think the parents are together. You know, nobody made you take the car if you didn't think you could afford the maintenance and the gas on the car. No, the parents are together? My bad. The parents are together. So anyway, it's crazy. It's crazy. But neither here nor there. That is the latest in v.Brorilla versus Glorilla. Now, I will say this. Y'all are helping v.Brorilla out a lot. She's monetized on her platforms. That's why she keep going live and talking, because she's making money now. You know, like you said, Tory Lanez will send her some money. People that probably cashed out to her and sent her some money. So she's going to be good for another couple of months. She's going to be good for about, what's this, February? I mean, I give her till springtime. That people are going to probably, because I see she's been doing some interviews. Somebody flew her out to do an interview. So she's going to be all right for it, as long as she, because, you know, at the end of the day, most of us already don't care. We probably didn't care that much to begin with. We certainly don't really care a whole lot now. So it's probably going to be, give it another couple of weeks, you know. Maybe March, mid-March, maybe. If it lasts that long. You know. Ronnie said you could give me a free double wide with brick under pining and smile and say thank you. Right. It's free. And again, you can always say no thank you. You can always say no thank you. Appreciate you thinking about me, but I'm good. Nobody made that man accept it. But I don't hear him complaining. You complaining. You mad from the outside of the club. Mind you, two of Glorilla's brothers live with her in Atlanta. It doesn't sound like everybody has been left out. It sounds like you have been left out. But moving right along. v.Brorilla said they're not together yet. I don't think they're together. Miss Cookie said she got 5 more minutes. Yes, that's about all she got left. Because honestly, I just don't feel like Glorilla's obligated to do anything for any of y'all. I mean, the fact that she chooses to, that's great. But I just don't think she's obligated. And I damn sure think she's obligated to take care of you. No. But moving right along. I had 2,500 and said, don't tell anyone. That dummy ran right to the internet and showed the Cash App. He gave her 2,500 and said, don't tell nobody. Oh, Lord. Crazy. All right, I think that's it until let's talk about that. Now, let's get into Bad Bunny, honey. Did we cover everything in the title except for Bad Bunny? Let me tell y'all something. I don't know where y'all watched the Super Bowl on Sunday, but we were on the ship Okay. Now, El Teddy, Kiss My Cheeks, and Tracy, they were in the Aqua Theater. If you've been on Utopia of the Seas or the Icon, you know, they have the Aqua Theater. Now that's where they were watching it. Me and a group of people, we were watching it in the Royal Theater. But baby, when I tell you, first of all, they had this because on the ship they were using a streaming service, so we weren't getting the commercials. Like every time there was a commercial, we would see in the same like ESPN commercials over and over again. So we weren't getting any of the Super Bowl commercials. So that was the downside, that we didn't get any of the commercials. But let me tell you something. The lady that they had in there to entertain us during the commercial breaks, she fucked around and found out, because she was like playing music and stuff during the commercials, and she was like, you know, just doing stuff. I guess that was her job, right? Baby, she was still playing that music when Bad Bunny, when it got started. Baby, the way we was screaming at that lady telling her to turn that damn music off. I mean, I felt bad for her. Because, baby, not the whole auditorium, you know, not the whole auditorium, you know. But for the people that was ready to hear Bad Bunny, the way we yelled at that lady to turn that music off. And then the concert started. Because that's what I'm calling it. I'm calling it a concert, okay? The concert started. Because when I tell you, that crowd erupted. Now, there were clearly people in that crowd that did not want to be there, okay? This one guy sitting in front of us, he turned, let me find something. Baby, the back of his neck was the color of this cup. It was just red. It was just red. You could just tell he was just mad. He was just getting madder and madder and madder with each passing minute. I said, y'all, his head is getting ready to explode. There were other people that was just on their phone trying to ignore it, you know, just on their phone, you know. But when I tell you that that Latino community, if I don't want to be politically incorrect, but when I tell you them Puerto Ricans, but I don't even want to limit it to Puerto Rican. I don't even want to limit it. But when I tell you that them Puerto Ricans, they was all up in the balconies. And they were in groups. It was almost like they planned it that way. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like they were like, all right, y'all gonna go over there, and y'all gonna go over there, and we're gonna go up in the balcony. It was almost like they were like, we're gonna spread out. Okay. The way they stood up and knew every word to every song. Let me tell y'all something. Baby, they had flags. The lady in the balcony just did like that. The flag was just hanging off the balcony. The other lady, she had her flag. And when I tell you, I had just as much fun watching them. You know what I'm saying? The pride, the love, that moment. I don't understand. Well, I do. I shouldn't say I don't understand. I do understand. And I knew that watching it one time wasn't enough. Like, I knew you didn't get everything. It was like last year with Kendrick Lamar. You couldn't have gotten it all in that one take. So I knew I was going to have to watch it 2 or 3 more times. And I did. I absolutely did. We had us a good time. Because look, over there where we were sitting, we was all like this and standing up, and we was all in it. We ain't nothing that them mofos was saying. But the music, because I've listened, y'all, I told y'all I was going to download some Bad Bunny music, and I was going to be ready for that Super Bowl show. And the first time, because I knew Bad Bunny from Cardi B. That was my introduction to Bad Bunny, was the I Like It Like That song from her first album. But I didn't really follow Bad Bunny. I knew who he was. I just didn't follow him like that. But the first time I started listening to his music, I didn't need to know the words. The music, it just got me going. It was like, oh shit now. I didn't need to know the words. It's no different than opera. When you go to an opera, it's not in English, but it's the performance and it's the words. Like, I have literally seen grown men cry watching opera that can't understand a word of what is being spoken. But you feel the emotion in the song. And everything that was done is purposeful. There was no accidents in his show. There was no excuse me, there were no accidents. Everything that was done for a reason. It was symbolic. And I'm sure you guys have all heard all of the breakdowns by now, all of the different things. The fact that taco stand that he got I think he got the engagement ring from the taco stand. I can't remember. That's a real taco stand in Los Angeles. That is a real establishment. And let me show y'all something. That's the line from in front of the taco stand. Oh, sorry. Nope. That's the CEO. What went the wrong way? That was the CEO of Child, this stupid phone. The line was down the block, y'all, today. That was a real taco stand. The line was down the block. That older woman, I don't remember her name, and I don't want to mispronounce her name. She is the owner and the proprietor of I think it's called the Latin Social Club in New York. It is the only Puerto Rican club still left in New York, and she has fought off gentrification. They've tried to bully her out of her space. They've offered her money, and she won't sell. And so he's highlighting her, right? The couple that got married, you guys know that that's a real couple. You know, that was a real couple that invited Bad Bunny to their wedding, and he was like, I got you. I can do you one better. And it was that whole, even in the midst of all of this bullshit that we're dealing with, love still wins, right? The power lines symbolizing the fucked up power grid that Puerto Rico has. They were without power for 6 months, and the president is throwing fucking paper towels at them. And they didn't have power for 6 months after that hurricane, right? Isn't La Escuela still open? I don't know. I don't know anything about it, El Teddy. You'd have to look it up because I don't even know what you're talking about. And of course, we know the sugar fields. We know that the colonization of San Juan was for the sugar fields. Hello, Domino. Y'all know the Domino Sugar Company? Hello. Hello, Domino. The rum. Hello, Bacardi. Hello, Bacardi. And then this is what I saw a video on this. So if it's wrong, then it's a lie somebody else told. But allegedly, when right before Lady Gaga came out and sang, allegedly what Bad Bunny said was, this is what y'all wanted to see. Allegedly, that's what he said. Now, I can't say for certain that's what he said. But that's what they said. He said, this is what y'all wanted to see. And then here you have this blonde-haired white woman singing in English. Because that's the only English that was spoken was when Lady Gaga sang. Baby, they was getting it in at the Bolero. Baby, the after party was definitely at the Bolero, Auntie Kim. I went by the Bolero on my way back, baby. Baby, they was getting it. You hear me? But they was getting it every night at the Bolero. Every night. If you want to have a good time, you go down to the Bolero. Hold on. Hello. Hey. Girl, I'm still live. Bye. Child, that was Abby. I thought something was wrong. And then Ricky Martin. That was the picture from his album cover with the two chairs sitting in the field. So that was like the replica of his album cover. And Ricky Martin actually sang a Bad Bunny song about, and it was, why, El Teddy, why are you calling me? Was singing, see, I lost my damn train of thought. Was singing a Bad Bunny song about colonization. He was singing a Bad Bunny song about not colonizing and not being like Hawaii, which again, we know Hawaii was stolen. Hello, Dole. El Teddy did it on purpose. You called me, so then he come calling me. It was something else. It was something else that I wanted to. I should have wrote it all down, but it was something else that I wanted to. That happened. Right. Kid Rock and Ricky Martin are the same age. That's crazy. That is crazy. Damn, it was something else. Oh, and of course, him coming out of the fields, waving the Puerto Rican flag, but waving the old Puerto Rican flag with the light blue instead of the navy blue, which is the flag after the United States colonized them. Their original flag was light blue. And here come Busy Blue. Y'all, all of y'all got jokes. Now Busy calling me. Y'all all got jokes. Anyway. Yeah, Cardi fell before she didn't fall at the Super Bowl. She fell before the Super Bowl. Yeah, she had a bad ankle. And allegedly, what I read was the reason why Cardi got the best shot out of all of those celebrities that were there is because she's the only one that followed the directions. They were all asked to wear tan. She's the only one that wore all tan. Jessica Alba wore jeans. Somebody else had on a color that was, I think they were supposed to wear like white and tan. And Cardi was the only one that followed the directions. So she got that first shot as soon as Bad Bunny came out. She got that first shot. Now that's what they said. I don't know if that's the reason why, child. It might just could be because she was Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? And somebody else was saying that the reason why she may not have performed is because she's actually getting ready for her tour, and maybe she wasn't available to practice. Because you know that the Super Bowl doesn't happen overnight. Like that is a lot of practice. That's a lot of rehearsals and all of that. And they said maybe she just wasn't available because she's literally going on tour next week. At the end of this week, I think Thursday or Friday, her tour starts. So they were like, literally, I'm thinking maybe that's why she didn't actually perform. Oh, he might not have asked her. He honestly may not have asked her. But I feel like he might have because the other rapper that's in her song, I Like It Like That, he was there. So they could have done I Like It Like That. But also, it's not in Spanish. Their parts are in Spanish, but Cardi's part isn't in Spanish. So I don't know. Right, but he had on white and tan. The article I read said they were supposed to wear all white. They weren't supposed to wear, they were supposed to wear all tan. But again, like I said, it could be wrong. Child, listen, y'all know everybody got a think piece. Everybody got a think piece, child. It was something else I was going to say. It was something else, but overall, y'all, it was a great performance. I loved it. Bad Bunny don't owe me nothing. The people on the ship, their energy, the pride, like watching them and watching the pride just don't owe me nothing. And I love how they were unapologetic about it. They were unapologetic about it. You hear me? Baby, the way that they didn't give a fuck about nobody else in that auditorium. And I'm sure it was the same way out there where El Teddy was. The way they did not give a damn. Do you hear me? And I love that for them. I loved it for them. I just loved it. And again, it was they said that the same three people they said the same person that helped Kendrick Lamar help Bad Bunny put his together. And what's funny is the NFL told him no political statements, right? The whole fucking thing was political. You just had to understand the story he was telling. The whole thing was political. About colonization, about all of that. And it was so funny how at the end when he called out all of the countries that are part of the Americas, I loved it. Because dumb motherfuckers really were like, huh? Because I heard somebody today talking about this was supposed to be about America and celebrating America. First of all, who decided that the Super Bowl's halftime show was supposed to be a celebration of America? It's a fucking concert. When did it become a celebration of America? Since when is the halftime show of the Super Bowl supposed to be a celebration of America? Hello? When did we decide that shit? Like, I'm just sitting here like, hello, what the fuck are you talking about? That's funny talking that the Spaniards discovered America. Well, clearly they didn't boycott it. They said that even at Mar-a-Lago they played the Bad Bunny. See, and this is shit about MAGA that I don't understand. This man blatantly told y'all not to watch the halftime show, yet we see that the halftime show played at his own Super Bowl party. And y'all still follow this motherfucker. That Turning Point USA debacle was pre-recorded at a soundstage, and they literally paid those people to act like they gave a damn about Kid Rock badly lip syncing to songs he did 10 years ago. Baby, y'all have fun with that. And then you had people like Jill Zarin and the other lady from the Real Housewives, the one, what's her name? Taylor Armstrong, making these ignorant statements about Bad Bunny. Bethany Frankel, even though you took down the original video and you tried to put up another video where you said something totally different, girl, the internet is forever and they got it. They have the original video of you not understanding why, why Bad Bunny was chosen and that he just wasn't the right fit. And then you try to come back later and give us something totally different. Taylor Armstrong, you're just an ignorant bitch. Jill Zarin, girl, you just got fired from a job you've been trying to get for the last 10 years. They went over to E to try to reboot the Real Housewives of New York with the old heads, and your ass to mess around and got fired. Now, I wasn't going to watch it no way. But for the people who were, Jill, they said you done got fired, honey. They said that they're going to move in a different direction. Thank you for your, thank you, but no thank you. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, y'all, I've been on here for 2 hours. I know it's been a minute. I ain't been on here in about 4 days. But we're going to get up off of here. And I will talk to y'all later. If you have not bought a raffle ticket, please don't forget to get your name in the raffle. $10 for a ticket. You can get 3 for $20. You can get 10 for $80. Okay. We will be selling tickets until the end of the month. The raffle will be on March the 1st. Me too, Auntie Kim. No, I did not have a vacation, boo. I did not, honey. My goal, look, maybe the next cruise, honey. The next cruise. But no, I did not have a vacation, boo. With that being said, though, I gotta go. Mar-a-Lago is literally Spanish for Cedar Lake. Child. We know it was never about Spanish. Child, we know what it's about. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Good night.